Hello everyone, it's Evangeline right here on a cold and windy day at etrailer.com. But do you know who's not cold today? Me, because I have the Ignik Topside Heated Blanket. This is going to be available in 3 different colors. It is a powered heated blanket that also works as a bit of a poncho or a cape. So if you're looking for something to keep you warm during those cold days when you're out and about adventuring or camping, this one might be an option for you. But there are some things you do have to consider, like purchasing extra batteries or making sure you properly take care of your blanket. The first question is always, how do you keep the blanket powered? Well, you do have a cord that comes out of your blanket. Ideally, if you have a compatible power bank, you could put that right here in the pocket, and that way your blanket is powered as you walk around the campsite. Unfortunately, none of my personal power banks fit the plugs for this cord, so I did have to plug it to the power station. So looking up close at our different options, we have the cord that comes out, and it comes with this controller. So this plugs into the cord, and then it has a 5.5 by 2.1 barrel. This will fit into the appropriate DC port on your power station or power bank. Now our power station here today does not have that port, so we use the included 12-volt adapter. This will fit into your vehicle, into your power station, and will plug right in. Now, the draw that this will take up would be about 250 to 300 watt hours per night. So pretty small. If you have a smaller power bank with the appropriate plugs or adapters, this will work great for that. We do have power connected. So the way this works is when you press the triangle on the control panel, it turns on and says Ignik on the welcome screen. And then you can adjust the temperature. So this is a little confusing for some people because it starts at 100 and then it goes down by increments of 10 all the way down to 10. That is not the actual temperature. It's just how much heat output you're choosing for this pad or this blanket. Now your effective maximum temperature is going to be up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's going to be the temperature of the surface area. That's the maximum though. It will always depending on the temperature outside, your body heat, how long it's been going, things like that. And speaking of that, it takes about 10 minutes when it's all folded up for it to really feel good and toasty. So Ignik does recommend folding up the blanket on its own all together, and that way it will heat up faster. If you want it out on your sleeping bag or around you, it will still heat up, but it may take a little bit more time. If you are using this as you are sleeping, the good news is you can actually adjust how long this turns on or stays on. So if you press that triangle button again, you can cycle through the timer. And that can range from 1 hour all the way up to 10 hours before it automatically shuts off the blanket. That will help prevent you from getting too toasty through the night, or if you want to conserve the battery, that's an option too. On that note of getting too toasty though, there are actually 3 zones to this blanket. You have your top zone and your toe zone towards the end. Those are going to have a little bit more heat output because our extremities get pretty cold throughout the night. The middle zone will actually have less heat output compared to the rest of the blanket, and that's because our chest area is usually the warmest part, especially when we are sleeping. That way we have the most comfortable experience where it still heats things up, but not too much. The material of our blanket is pretty nice. It's very similar to the material of my personal sleeping bags, where you have that polyester fabric that's just a little like soft and comfy and lofty. And then if you flip the blanket over, you do see this other material underneath. This is more of a suede feeling material. Very smooth, very cozy. As a person that loves to take naps, especially while camping, even if this wasn't heated, I'd still appreciate the comfort that it would bring. This also adds to the insulation just to help retain heat and help retain your body heat as well. And if you notice throughout the blanket, I like to sew a lot, so I always notice stitching. The stitching on here looks really good. It does help prevent fraying just because of how it's stitched. Good quality stitches all throughout. I also like to feel the blanket trying to find the wires, and I can really only find them because I know where they are. So the wires are going to be in almost like a zigzag pattern down the center of the blanket. So you actually won't really find wires towards the edge. They'll all be towards the center. And throughout the night, could barely feel them. I would really have to pinch and feel for them. And that just speaks to the loftiness of the top fabric as well as the density and softness of the bottom fabric. It really is just more of like a hefty blanket with that added heated feature. The dimensions of this blanket is going to be 72 inches by 52 inches. Now, I'm 5 feet tall for a reference, and this is how the blanket looks like on me if I choose to just walk around the campsite with it around my shoulders like this. I really like how they designed it too, because if you do want to use it as a cape, the heated wires are along the center on this side. So it's nice because then my arms are warm as well as my back. You'll be able to figure out which way you should carry it because you'll have this little tab here just to hold it up and keep it around you. This allows you to walk around the campsite. This keeps your arms free to go do things. But honestly, for me, this is how I walk around. I like to retain the heat as much as possible. Again, this is going to be a great way to use the power bank, which would fit right into that pocket, as well as put all of your other personal items. If you are looking for power bank suggestions, Ignik does like to use Goal Zero power banks. We have some available here on our website. Again, just double check those ports to see if you need an adapter or not to be able to use this with your blanket. As for maintaining your blanket, it is spot clean only. So if you do notice that you may have like little stains or smudges, do try to just spot clean it with either a cleaning pen or just a little bit of water on a rag, things like that. Not designed for machine wash, so just try to take care of that, especially because of the heating element on the inside. This is available in 3 different colors. So what I have here is the blue color, which does have a little bit of a pattern on it. I like it, adds a little bit of fun to the blanket. Also available in a solid blue and tan, or you can get it in Arctic Camo, which is kind of like a darker green bag with a little bit of a camo design to it. Just nice colors that fit well with your campsite and pretty much most types of sleeping bags for different situations. Now you can roll it up so that you can use these bag that comes with it. It's not so much of a stuff sack style blanket, although you can try to do it that way. I really did find the best luck with folding it into thirds and rolling it up, and I can cinch it tight with the bag. Some people like to keep the box that comes with the blanket just because that box is great for keeping it condensed. It's easier to pack it into the box. The box itself is pretty durable too. So it's up to you how you want to keep your blanket. Those are just tips and tricks for making sure that you can take care of the blanket that takes care of you. And that's going to be about it for the main features of our heated blanket. As for my personal thoughts, I've done a lot of cold camping. I don't know if you've seen my winter camping video here in our parking lot, but I utilized another 12-volt heated blanket in that one. Now for that video, it was a much more affordable heated blanket. It was a much smaller blanket, and my main use for that was putting it on top of my sleeping bag, and then it shut down pretty periodically throughout the night. So I really didn't get the best experience out of that one. It worked, But if I wanted to upgrade my adventure, this is something that I would look at next time. I love the durability of the blanket, especially when heating elements are involved. I try not to skimp and get the most affordable option because I want something that has a good safety sensor or safety feature, and having that smart controller where it can adjust the timeout times is perfect. So while it is on the pricier side, I think the durability and the material does make up for it, plus the fact that it's a lot more portable than your regular heated blanket that really is designed to just stay on your bed. Being able to walk around the campsite like this, where I'm still toasty, but I'm also able to do things, is great. So it really does depend on where you're camping, what you're planning on doing, what your experience is with heated blankets and sleeping bags, and the level of comfort that you want for your adventures. But if you want pretty much maximum comfort and a really good heated blanket, this is a great option for you. This was a look at the Ignik Topside Heated Blanket at etrailer.com. My name is Evangeline. I really hope you enjoyed this journey.